Hey team, Chef Eric Gephart here. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to cook the infamous picanha, okay? Known as the top sirloin cap or culotte steak, or cut into the Brazilian style sword skewered picanha. There's a lot of different ways to handle this cut. Today I want to treat it almost like a mini prime rib or a roast and low and slow smoke it. Let's get into the action. So our Kettle Joe still has some embers from a previous cook. Let me show you really quickly how to incorporate new charcoal into old charcoal and get that fire going again. We're gonna remove the slow roller so we have access to our fire box, dump in some new charcoal, and then use our ash tool to roll in the old embers with the new charcoal. Lid up, draft door all the way open, and we're gonna leave that for about 10 to 15 minutes and watch that fire grow. Notice how all the charcoal is engulfed, so we're gonna use our ash tool and give it a stir, just to make sure that all that charcoal gets fully incorporated. While we've got the lid up and the slow roller out, now we're going to place our wood chunks in the hottest portion of the fire. Notice how this has great airflow. You can see the way that all of those flames are peaking up. And we want to wait till we see combustion, and then we'll put our slow roller right on top of the fire. Gonna shut the dome and damper down the draft door, okay? And let's come up to the control tower here and leave it open by about a quarter. While the grill's stabilizing at 275 to 300, let's go ahead and take a look at our picanha. So this picanha is coming to us from Creekstone Farm. It is a prime picanha, and I don't want to trim too much of that fat cap off. This is an endemic part of the actual cut. But what I do want to do is come and lightly slice some avenues for that fat, that thick fat, to render out, okay? And this is going to allow some of our smoke and seasoning to drive in as well. So not trimming that fat cap off because we want to celebrate it, but giving smoke and seasoning access to the meat. Notice I'm making a little checkerboard action here. It's functional and it looks really nice in the end. There we are. Beautiful, didn't cut into the meat, just through that cap. Now let's examine the bottom. Just some light trim action going on here. We'll get some of this silver skin off. Nothing crazy. And definitely want to get into this, okay? This is elastin, it doesn't break down with cooking. We're gonna get rid of that so again we can get some nice seasoning and nice smoke through there, plus we don't want our guests to have to chew on that. All right, we're there. Today I've chosen Lane's Barbecue Brisket Rub. Heavy on the salt, heavy on the pepper, big granules for nice mouthfeel. Let's go ahead and go pretty liberally on this. Remember, we're treating it like a prime rib, so we're gonna cut this entire roast. So we want a nice layer of seasoning on all sides. The salt will actually help not only the rendering process, but to build that bark on the outside of that fat cap. All right, all seasoned up. That is a thing of beauty. Our grill is stabilized at just over 275. So let's open up the Kettle Joe, and we're gonna place this fat cap side down to start with. We're gonna cook it this way for about 25 minutes, and this is just to kick start the rendering process on that fat cap. So 25 minutes, fat cap side down, and then we'll flip it for the duration of the cook. We're gunning for an internal temperature of about 120 to 125. We've reached the 25-minute mark. Let's go ahead and open the lid. Let's see what's going on. Still got a fair amount of smoke coming. I can see the plate here, the deflector shield, has got some fat on it, so we've got some nice rendering. And I'm starting to see a little bit of a nice smoky color on this side. So let's gently flip. Oh yeah. Good start there. Now we'll finish on this side, but because we started with fat cap down, that's going to continue to render, so we're going to close this lid so it can do its work. and we'll check the internal temperature in about 25 more minutes. I bet we'll still have a little ways to go at that point, trying to attain that 120 to 125 internal mark, but the Kettle Joe is doing a great job of maintaining that 275 300. So pretty exciting stuff. Team, it's been another 25 minutes, and look at all this. I'm like living in this basting cloud right now, and I just love it. The rain's moved in. Luckily we're covered up. Let's see. Oh, look at that beauty. Come on off. Woo, it's hot. And that is stunning. Let's take a peek at the bottom. Oh yeah. Great bark on both sides. And notice how we can still see the grain running this way. It's really important to cut across the grain. So while we're resting, we're kind of visualizing how we're gonna cut this baby. We're gonna go this way to ensure that we're cutting across that grain. For a picanha this size, we're gonna let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's been 10 minutes and the anticipation's driving me nuts. Look at this beauty. Remember, we talked again about slicing across the grain. So I'm gonna slightly turn and then give a little support on both sides, and then 3 fingers of support here. And we're just gonna go at a slight bias. And that fat is stunning. Here we go, getting into that meat now. All right, we're cutting about pencil thickness. Look at that, stunning medium rare. Remember, we really celebrate that fat cap with this cut. Let's give another slice and a taste here. Some of that board sauce on there. Oh, I'm super excited about that. It's gonna give me the meat sweats before I even try it. Man, smoky, salty, beefy. So good. And the nature of that prime Creekstone beef, I mean, that fat cap is just to be celebrated. We gave it just enough time for all that intermuscular fat to just turn into moisture, juice, and goodness. I mean, this has got to be one of the beefiest bites I've ever had. But I cannot tell you enough that that salt content on the outside just helps drive all of it. Something about salt, fat, and smoke just sings my song. I got to take another bite. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this cook as much as I enjoyed just taking that bite, do me a favor, subscribe, hit that bell alert button so you don't miss a thing. Don't forget to like, and please do leave us a comment because I respond to every single one of them. Thanks so much for joining us from our backyard to yours. Cheers and happy grilling.